Welcome to today's Videoguys live show. It's March. We're not going mad. We're calling it March Mania. Live production tips and tricks for basketball and indoor sports production. We figure it's a very timely thing to do for you guys right now. We want to talk about what you need to do if you want to produce live sports. Now, this show is for everyone. Maybe you're just a parent who wants to shoot your kids' basketball games, or a coach who's coaching in a youth league and you want to tape the games and be able to look at them and coach your team better. Maybe you're a church that's got a CYO or a league where you want to stream some of the games. Maybe you're a high school team that isn't streaming any of their games yet or video production, or even a small college, or maybe you're a beer league, hockey league. We're going to talk about the things you do to produce an indoor live streaming, live video production. It doesn't mean you have to stream it live. Maybe you just want to record it and then be able to show it later for a highlight film or a highlight movie. Whatever you want to do, today's show is all about producing live sports indoors. We're going to focus on basketball and hockey to keep it simple. All right. So why should you live stream sports now? Why is this show so timely? Hey, high school winter sports are in their playoffs. College sports have playoff tournaments are beginning. NHL and NBA playoffs are starting soon. And school sports are in session with spring sports around the corner. And come the spring, we'll do a show on outdoor shorts. But this show today is about indoor live sports production. What you need for live sports production. Folks, there's a gamut of what you can do, from very basic stuff to very complex stuff. We're going to start with a really great basic one-man's run and gun kind of solution built around the YoloBox Pro. We get into more elaborate solutions as well as something you would do if you were, let's say, a college or a university, and you can set up whatever you want in between. Maybe you're a roller hockey rink or an ice rink. You want to be able to offer video streaming and video production as something to the people who are members of your rink or your league. So while you want to do it, it's basic and easy to stream and record games. Streaming lets more people see your athletes, what they're doing. Recording not only allows you to have video content that you can use for highlight films and for streaming later, but it's also something you can use with your coaches. Capture more action with multiple camera angles. We're going to get into that. You know, one camera is great, and if it's all you have and all that you have access to, that's fine. But we're going to show you the right way to shoot an indoor sport with a 4-camera setup. What do you want to do also? You want to add branding and graphics. If it's your CYO league in your church, maybe it's a good time to just tell people to come to church or to donate. If you're a college team or a high school team, it's time to feature your athletes, get their name out there. And if you're a beer league or something like that, well, invite people to come on down, watch the games, join the beer league, whatever it is. We're going to show you about adding scoreboards, which is the most important thing, and instant replay if you want to take your games from 9 to 10 to 11. I think we need to talk about the infrastructure that's available for schools, because we have such a wide range of tools available. The encoder is what gets you out for live streaming. So we have the LiveView Solo as an example. PTZ cameras can be used to robotically control your show with presets or with a PTZ controller. We're going to go into switchers and mixers, be they standalone or part of a bigger production system. And we're also going to talk about some of the nuances and tech tips along the way that we've learned through helping people get their own setups going. For a one-man show, I want to talk about this little puppy right here, the YoloBox Pro. YoloBox Pro is a self-contained system that will allow you to do live streaming and encoding, mixing from multiple sources, add graphics, picture-in-picture, and scoreboards. It is a really cool, amazing tool. You can use it with 1 camera or up to 3 or 4 cameras. It's fantastic. I love YoloBox Pro, and for the price, this is a complete solution. However, to be honest with you, and we'll get to it at the end, it's a complete solution to build your workflow around, but there may be other parts and pieces you want to add because of the complexity of this show you're doing. So let's jump into YoloBox a little bit more if we can. Let's bring this up full screen, guys, because it really talks about what it brings for live streaming, especially with a sport. Custom overlays. That means you can put in statistics. You can put in the team names, the graphics for the team, the players' names, the location of the game, special highlight things to watch. Johnny just set the record for, highest free throw percentage in school history. You can record for video production and for coaching. Scoreboard with countdown. I mean, if it's sports, it's got to have a countdown. And you can live stream simultaneously to multiple outlets and record at the same time for your own coaching or post-production purposes. So the YOLO Live YoloBox Pro really is a phenomenal solution for the run and gunner. And this is what I wanted to show here. If we can bring up this graphic full screen for a second. While the YoloBox Pro does everything, as you can see from all these different rigs that people are using, sometimes it's just the YoloBox and the camera. Sometimes it's some more things being involved. Maybe you need an audio mixer. Maybe you want a camera to come in as a source. Maybe you want another mixer to be used for video mixing. You got some lights. You've got some other stuff. But the key that I want to say here, you as a one single producer can produce basketball games or hockey with multiple cameras with this puppy right here, the YoloBox Pro. For the price of the money, it's a remarkable product, and I really think it's wonderful. And in fact, I think we've got a little video from a customer story that I want to roll now about someone who's doing just that, using the YoloBox Pro for a youth hockey league. So let's watch this video.
Over the last 18 months, I've been able to perfect my setup and process such that I can be set up in minutes, not be reliant on power outlets, move easily from one rink to another without having to completely break down and set back up, stream even in moderate internet conditions or record in poor ones. The YoloBox Pro has been the #1 game changer for me in this regard. My rig is already 90% set up when I take it out of the case. When the YOLO team added 60 frames per second to the YoloBox Pro, I decided it was time to add one of those to my arsenal of gear. The only one feature that I was really missing now was slow motion replays. It's such a great feature for a high-speed sport like ice hockey, where it's often difficult to see how the goal was scored at regular speed. And less than a year later, we had this slow motion replay feature on the YoloBox Pro. But the YOLO team weren't done there. The addition of the remote guest feature allowed me something that just was not easy with my OBS rig. I could now very quickly and easily pull in remote interviews or camera angles, even on the fly. There is currently nothing else on the market that is this feature-packed, portable, and easy to set up and operate than the YoloBox.
I love watching those tykes playing hockey. YoloBox Pro is on sale now for $11.99 for a limited time. It's normally $12.99. At $12.99, it's a great product. At $11.99, it's even better. If you want to be a one-man indoor video sports production company or outdoor sports production company, YoloBox Pro is definitely an investment you want to make. Call us to learn more. Videoguys, 800-323-2325, and get your YoloBox Pro today. Next, let's talk about PTZ cameras. Now, PTZ cameras are robotic cameras that can, well, let's show you. They can tilt, they can pan, and they can zoom in. So a PTZ camera means you can mount the camera anywhere in your facility and operate it remotely. Now, it can be operated remotely with presets, with your mixer, like we use a TriCaster controller from the TriCaster, or you can get what we have over here, which is control surface, different ways to use your PTZ cameras. And we're going to talk about how PTZ cameras can be used in your setup. With a PTZ camera, I want you to think about it. It's like you can have someone up and down on the sidelines. One of the things to remember with PTZ cameras for video continuity is to keep them on the same side of the building. And basically now, you don't have to be the camera operator. You can have multiple cameras going from a single PTZ controller. So it really gives you the ability to bring a multi-camera shoot. And like I said, you can either control it as you go, or a lot of people use presets. So as an example, a camera that's mounted above the rim on a basketball court can have one preset that's going straight down, looking at the players when they're in the paint, another shot that's more looking at the tip-off, and then still another shot that's a zoom shot when they're on the other end of the field. So if you have two cameras, one on the top of each rim, or each net, rim, basketball backboard, you can now have a whole different perspective on the show and on the shoot with just 3 presets. If we're talking about PTZ cameras, I want to segue a little bit to something called NDI. NDI is a technology that basically allows you to do the standard networking, the gigabit Ethernet that you have in your network, in your school, in your gymnasium, in your house, everywhere already. And it allows you to not only pass video over the network as ones and zeros on the network, but it also allows you with a PTZ camera to control it over the network, to not just control pan, tilt, and zoom, but to control tally, comms, and even things like color grading and color matching. So very, very cool, perfect for schools and athletic centers. A single Cat6 cable can provide power control and AV power back. One thing I want to note on, NDI does require specialized networking for optimal results. And what does that mean? Folks, we recommend if you're going to go to NDI that you get a Netgear M4250 switch. These switches start at $599. You can set the switch up. And what I really love for you educators is you could set up an NDI island in your gymnasium around a Netgear switch that could feed to your outer network into the web, but it would be self-contained so that you're only passing video through the switch and what's attached to the switch. If you had a TV studio and the gymnasium you want to wire up, you could actually put a switch in each, interconnect them through 10 gig fiber, and now have a system that grows with you and goes. So just my number one tip, I love NDI. If you're going to use NDI, you want to get one of those Netgear switches. All right, let's talk about an inside court full production. And this schematic, which I don't think we have to bring it up. We'll bring it up full screen for a little bit. Why not? So in this example, we're having 3 PTZ cameras, one on top of each goal, another PTZ camera up high on the 50-yard line, at the half court, and then we have something called the Hero Cam. What's a Hero Cam? A Hero Cam, if we can come back, it's got to be a handheld camera. That's a camera where someone's actually following, your star player, the hero. So, in the days when I loved basketball, you'd have it on Michael Jordan the whole time. Whenever he went, you would follow him. If you're a high school, you would have it on your star recruit, or a college. If you were in a CYO league, maybe you're putting it on the guy who's the big shooter or what have you. That is a live operated camera that could be on a tripod or shoulder mounted, depending on the skill of your camera operator, while you're still using 3 PTZ cameras. In this example, we have another camera aimed at the scoreboard, or a scoreboard that's feeding directly into our mixer. And then we have a USB camera that's on who we'll call the announcer, who could be sitting in the room with you or on the other side of the building or somewhere else coming into the mixer, who's basically announcing the game and switching through a video mixer like a TriCaster. So once again, camera on each end, camera at the half court, and a Hero camera that's on the same side as the half court camera, but is free and mobile to move around, either running around on the floor, perhaps it's on a tripod, but it's operated by a camera person who has some skills and some understanding of how to shoot. Also, we have a graphics computer so that you can bring in your graphics and your statistics. I'm a big hockey guy, so let's look at the same thing for hockey. In this case, we've got PTZ cameras on the glass, behind each goalpost. We've got one at the center. We've still got the Hero Cam, scoreboard and graphics, something for the announcers to be brought in as well. It's the same basic theory. And now think about this for the hockey example. The goal, the camera behind the goal, while it can be operated by a PTZ operator, which is ideal, could be set with some presets. So preset 1 could be looking straight down at the crease. Preset 2 could be on the 50, one could be, you have a preset for each dot, wherever the face-off is from, be it center court, the center ice, or all the way down at the other side. And if both cameras had presets on each dot, as well as the center feed, now you can have 3 cameras of where the action is, wide, one zoomed in, one wide. You really get a great feel for the game. And with those presets, it's pretty easy to set up, because I want to get into the next part of PTZ controllers. With your PTZ controllers, you can program in presets. So I want to lift up this puppy because I love it. So if we can go to my cam, my Hero Cam right over here, the PTZOptics SuperJoy is my favorite PTZ controller. And one of the features it's got that's really cool is I can set up something like scenes. So the example I was giving before, where I would have each camera have the ability to focus on each face-off dot, I could set those up as individual scenes that when I hit the button, all the cameras would go to be facing where they're supposed to be locked in for that setup, as well as a setup that's for the center ice face-off. Now what I do is I cut to the Hero Cam, hit the button, all my cameras go where they have to go, and I'm ready to shoot right where it was in a great way. With the PTZ cameras and PTZ controller, also, of course, my PTZ operator can move and control any of the cameras at any time that he wants to for wherever the action is, be that action a fight, a brawl, a great shot, a face-off, a scrum somewhere in the field, or if you just want to focus on the guy who just scored the goal. So I love this, the PTZOptics SuperJoy. All our controllers are great, but this one is just one of my favorites. So I had to talk about it. I definitely recommend if you're doing a 3-camera shoot, you want to have a PTZ controller, because that is what allows someone to actually capture the ideal story that you want from the game. And every game is different, and every game's got its own story. So by being able to operate those cameras, you get to tell your story. We got a great little video now that we're going to show you that was from a school that was using PTZ cameras and a controller and everything else. So let's roll that from SAR High School.
Hi everybody, Paul Richards here. I am at the SAR High School in Bronx, New York with Josh Lewis, and they have been using the PTZOptics NDI cameras for live streaming sports inside their broadcast club. And I had to come out here to take a look because it's pretty cool.
We love the NDI technology. We've done some live streams where our camera's set up right now in the gym, and there's a basketball game going on, and we've been up here on the 4th floor in the tech office live streaming a game from up here using the joystick and using NDI technology.
I'm more interested in the capabilities of the broadcast club at this point. I saw some videos of the students actually using the joystick controllers.
So the big thing that's different is it used to be a student would have to be interested in actually like standing up and using a camera and zooming in with the camera and getting used to all the settings and different things like that. Now it's really easy with the PTZOptics controller. It's just a joystick. To zoom in, they're just pinching a little bit, moving to the left, to the right, and it's just very intuitive. It's very simple for them to use the camera now, and it's not as scary looking, so to speak, as a big expensive camera. They might be nervous to touch it, or if something breaks. Right now, they're just using a joystick. They don't have to physically touch the camera at all.
You know what my favorite part of that clip is? That the students are creating the content. At Videoguys, we love student-based content. And what's so great about that, if you're a school, a high school, a middle school, or a college who's looking to put in sports video, it's twofold. Not only do you get to share your sports, live stream them, produce the sports, and put them up on your website or what have you, but you're going to have students who are going to operate and run and create the show. And let's talk about all the students who can be involved. We can have camera operators, a PTZ controller operator, someone operating the switcher, a switchboard operator, a technical director, an announcer, a replay operator, we'll get to that in a while, an audio mixer, a graphics operator, people who create the graphics, people who create the statistics, someone who's producing the show and actually talking to everyone saying, here's tips and stuff like that. So what I love about student-created content is you can get so many students involved in creating a live broadcast or a canned broadcast of a sporting event. And then let's remember, we can then take all that content and give it to the editors who can now edit it to make highlight films and other things like that. So video sports production is big, it's huge, it's growing, and it is definitely something that you want to invest in. You guys are looking at something you don't like. Cool. When you're getting into video production, we did a great little thing on a run and gun show, but let's talk about someone who's going to do a more involved show. A more involved show that involves some of the things we're doing here, like bringing up graphics and a picture-in-picture and doing different scenes and different cutaways and stuff like that. Well, then you're going to want a turnkey production system. And we've got a wide variety, a lot of different prices. We've got our Epiphan Pearl systems, which are more set it and forget it appliances for very basic streaming and coding. But if you're really going to get into this as a school, I really recommend you take a look at the TriCaster, Mini X, and the Wirecast Gear family of products. You're talking about the $5,000 to $10,000 range for these mixers, but you'll be unable to do so much and bring so much for the kids to do and for production value, for productions, picture-in-picture, graphics. You'll be able to do lower thirds. You'll be able to bring in those scoreboards. You'll be able to bring in highlights and roll video clips that you pre-recorded to be used in the show. Just strongly recommend it. If you're interested in getting a live production solution like a TriCaster or a Wirecast Gear, give us a call. 800-323-2325. Go to our website, learn more. But most of all, talk to Adam and Jim, my production team that's producing this show right now, on the gear we sell. They'll be happy to help you understand what you need, what PTZ cameras go along with it, what cameras go along with it, if you should go NDI, how to set up NDI, and how to get that Netgear switch up and going. We are here to help consult you on a complete solution for doing video sports. If you're someone who wants something much bigger, where you want to get into like a TriCaster 2 Elite and a more involved system like that, we have system integrators and VARs across the country, resellers across the country who are willing to log in and help you with not only design your system, but they'll come in, they'll set it up, they'll run the wires, they'll train you on how to use it. Give us a call. Let us know what you're looking to do. Let us know what you need. We'll either set you up with the gear yourself, or we'll put you in touch with a local dealer. This is one of my favorite tech tips. We all know the scoreboard's so important, and we want to get the scoreboard in. Now, a lot of modern scoreboards, you can go, they have USB output jacks that allow you to go directly into a computer to get the scoreboard feed, or there are people who sell things that you can plug into the scoreboard to bring it into your computer or your mixer, or you can also just take a dedicated camera and have it shoot the scoreboard. Just bring that in as a source that you can mix into your videos. We know a lot of schools and a lot of like churches and beer league, hockey rinks will do that to just bring it in because it's inexpensive. It doesn't have to be a fancy camera. You can set up a USB camera that just gets the scoreboard in focus. Then you can crop the scoreboard to be perfectly set up. The most important thing is actually to get more of a head-on shot than the shot you see we have over here. But it's a great little hack, and I recommend it. If you can get the feed from your scoreboard directly, that's the best thing. But I also like the hack of bringing the scoreboard in as an insert, because for productions like a beer league, a high school, a church league, it kind of feels more authentic and homey. If you want to take your productions to the highest level, where you're already doing multiple cameras, you've got graphics that you're bringing in, you've got a TriCaster or a Wirecast gear, but you're just looking for something a little bit more, what you probably realize you need to be in the big leagues with big league video production of sports is instant replay. And we have instant replay systems starting as inexpensively as $22.95 for the Roland P20 HD. Both the gear and the TriCaster we talked about can do basic instant replay, or if you're really looking to do tremendous top-level instant replay, check out the NewTek 3Play. The NewTek 3Play can do instant replay from multiple cameras, multiple sources, roll them back, sync them together. Instant replay is something that you can actually train some of your students on how to use if you have the right gear, to be able to put that you're an instant replay operator on your resume. If you're applying to a communication school or a sports program or an internship, can be really a powerful thing. So instant replay, if you've got questions about it, give us a call. And once again, instant replay, something like a 3Play, a little more complicated. You may need a local dealer for that. We can get you in touch with a local NewTek dealer who can put you in there with the 3Play 3P1. But instant replay, I like to joke around. You've heard me say it, you bring your production to 9 or 10. You want a sports production you want to bring up to 11, that's instant replay. Here's a little video clip of some students operating an instant replay machine. Let's roll it.
Broadcasting is a big job. Replay is also a really big part of that.
Replay is given a chance to relive a live event.
With the 3P2 and the 8 channels, this is our first year using that. That has been incredible.
I really like the 3Play system because it's so fast to be able to scrub back. I can get a replay out like 2 seconds after they made the basket.
Our replay machine makes our productions head and shoulders above what they could be without it.
You can slow it down, you can speed it up, you can see down to the very little bit if somebody's toe is on a three-point line.
Because we provide the official replay for the officials in our league, having a replay machine that is capable of doing that means that, for better or worse, teams that play at Fort Hays are going to get a more well-officiated game. One
of my favorite things to do is when you play a foul, I like to slow it down at the time of the foul, so that way you can really see the physical contact that happened.
We can do things beyond the basic because of the gear we have. But we also have great students that can jump in and use it.
So I've done cameras, I've done tech directing, video board, a little bit of directing, but I mostly just do replay. It took me like 3-4 games to really get the hang of it, and now it's my favorite thing to do.
While the clip was playing, I was talking to my production team, and clearly I've gone over my 20-minute goal, but I couldn't end the show without giving you these tech tips, which I think are so important for sports video production. So we're going to get to them. The show will end up being more like 30 minutes. I apologize for that, but these tech tips are gold, and I got to give them to the first one. If you're going to do slow motion, you really need to be capturing your video at 60 frames per second or faster. At 30 frames per second, your slow motion is going to come out too jerky. So if you're thinking about instant replay in the future or slow motion, or you're going to be editing down to slow motion, you want to make sure you're shooting your sports in 4K P60. And fortunately, we've got handheld over-the-shoulder PTZ cameras that do just that. They support 4K P60. So for people doing sports, and if you're starting from nothing where you don't have any PTZ cameras, I definitely would urge you to think about 4K P60. Next one is so basic, but so many people forget it, and that is adding sports graphics that incorporate your team logo and colors as a theme for your broadcast just ties it all together. If you're watching the home team, we're Islander fans in hockey or Knick fans, in basketball, it's blue and orange. So work that blue and orange into your production and your color scheme. That doesn't mean everyone wears blue and orange, but more is for your graphics, your titles, your picture-in-pictures, and things like that. Next one, we kind of alluded to the announcer. A simple webcam and headset microphone is all you need to bring in your announcer from your productions. I don't recommend using the camera and the mic that's in your laptop, but certainly a simple webcam with a simple microphone is all you need. It doesn't have to be a wireless mic. The person producing the show just has to be attached to your mixer. He doesn't have to be sitting next to anyone. Be in a different room watching the game on a monitor. But it's so easy and simple to do. And I think when you have an announcer, it's a great thing for students to do, but it just adds to the show and the program. My last tip is really critical, and that is if you're using a TriCast or Wirecast gear, or maybe it's vMix or OBS on a laptop, when you're trying to do a sports production like the ones we showed you for hockey or basketball, well, we've got, multiple cameras, multiple layers of video, graphics, announcers coming in, multiple audio and stuff like that. Well, you can really overwhelm whatever is the processing capability of your production mixer, your laptop. So one of the best ways to get some of that production power back is to offload your encoding. What do we mean by that? Well, instead of having your TriCaster or your vMix laptop encode, take the HDMI output of that, feed it into a dedicated encoder like a LiveView Solo or a KiloView encoder or encoders by other people, and let that encoder, an Epiphan Pearl, let that encoder do all the heavy lifting and work of encoding the video, so that opens up more computer CPU and GPU cycles to producing your show. This was Gary at Videoguys. I went a little long, but I still pulled it in under 30 minutes. Yay me, one for the home team. March Mania live production tips and tricks for basketball and indoor sports. Guys, we thought this was timely because it's March and stuff like that, but it's always timely if you're doing sports to produce video from those sports. I mean, it's great if you're making your kids growing up, that highlight video you're going to produce someday at their bar mitzvah or wedding of them playing sports when they're little is invaluable. If you've got a kid, an athlete who you're in your family, or an athlete in your school, or an athlete in your parish, or an athlete in your league who you think could be promoted, who could get to bigger things, well, shooting video, streaming that video is a way for them to get exposure. And more importantly than that, it's where they can create a highlight video of what they've been doing. And as I said before, student-created content is my favorite content. So think about all the opportunities you can give students if you're a high school, a middle school, or a college by letting those kids produce the video shows we're talking about. So this is Gary from Videoguys. I hope you have a great season. I hope you have a winning season. But win or lose or draw, make sure you're streaming and producing video of that sporting event. This is Gary from Videoguys. Like us on Facebook. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. All that good social media stuff. We hope you'll do it. We hope you'll come to our blog to read articles about the stuff we sell. And also give us a call, 800-323-2325. We've got live people who not only know about this equipment, they're producing today's show using the equipment that we sell you. So Gary from Videoguys, peace. See you next week.
Videoguys is available Monday through Friday. Give us a call at 1-800-323-2325. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter and Instagram to stay connected with all of our updates. And you can like us on Facebook. Keep an eye out for our live videos And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.